Hi guys, welcome to the channel. Thank you for joining me and thank you for your continued support. Right, today I'm talking about a report. Now you remember back beginning of the Labour government's reign, they said that there were a number of reports that the Conservative government didn't publish, and they then published them. Well, one of them was a report into PIP, and it was a green paper that was later published, but not with this particular aspect of PIP in place. So I'm going to take a look at the article now and talk you through it. Here we go. Right, so here you go. It's on the Disability News Service, which is a website that you can access for this type of stuff as well. Ministers decided to sit on a crucial PIP report just days before publishing a brutal green paper. Now, this is the Conservatives, who we know caused a huge amount of trouble, not just for people in general, but also for the disabled. Conservative ministers decided to hide a report that exposed the flaws of degrading personal independence payment system just 5 days before they published proposals to replace PIP cash payments with vouchers or one-off grants. Disability News Service obtained copies of emails exchanged last year between ministers and advisors, which show how the Minister for Disabled People, Mims Davies, was asked to approve the publication of 4 Department of Work and Pensions research reports in January 2024. One of those reports showed how the dishonest and unfair PIP assessment system left disabled people broken, numb and fuming. When ministers finally made a decision 3 months later, they decided to allow publication of 3 other reports, but not the PIP research, with an email sent by a member of the ministerial team stating that ministers and special advisors were not content to agree to publication of that report. 5 days later, the Work and Pension Secretary, Mel Stride, published his hugely controversial Health and Disability Green Paper, in which he said he was concerned about the growth in spending on PIP and questioned whether this was providing value to the public. Now that does get me when they're saying about providing value to the public. We're not, they're not talking about a tunnel here or HS2 or something like that. These are people's lives that they are talking about, and it's not, how can you provide value to the public for people's lives? I mean, people who are on disability benefits and on PIP, they are also the public. Do they provide value to those people who are getting PIP? Very often not. So that does irk me when they say things like that, because we're not talking about a piece of machinery or a project. We're talking about people's lives here. Among the proposals described as a brutal ideological attack on disabled people's support, the Green Paper suggested making it harder to claim PIP and even replacing cash payments with vouchers or one-off grants. Researchers for the PIP report had interviewed disabled people who had been awarded 0 points after being assessed for their PIP eligibility. One of those interviews, who had ME and spent all but half an hour every day in bed, took 3 months to fill out this PIP claim form, but he said that when he tried to explain more about his case, the assessor, he was cut off. Like all the interviews, he was given 0 points and so was found ineligible for any support with his disability-related costs. Emails were released in response to a Freedom of Information request following the new Labour government's decision in October to publish the PIP report with 30 other papers, commissioned by the DWP under Conservative-led governments. DNS has requested documents that showed why ministers refused to publish this PIP research. The first email was sent to Davies on the 29th of January asking if she wanted to publish the PIP report. The response 10 days later, either from Davies or a member of her team, suggested we should wait as there is a lot of thinking in this area, and then warned could set hairs running and so not to publish while in the space of policy development. The final decision to prevent publication, apparently from a member of Davies' team, came 2.5 months later, just 5 days before the Green Paper's brutal attack. The DWP said that these were the only recorded information they hold, and they have not had any response from the Conservatives as to the reasons behind it. So this is obviously, as I said, this is the Conservatives. This is what they did before they were ousted from power. But I'm hoping, and this is why I think this should be shared. If you can share this video, please do so, because I'm hoping that enough people see these things and can then say, look, we do not want a repeat of this process. There's no point in changing your government if the government's going to simply do the same thing that the previous government did. And so, you know, what you don't want is for the Labour government to say, well, what the Conservatives did was all right, you know, so we'll go through it again. You know, they've already done that with a couple of proposals they've taken on from the Conservatives, and so we don't really want that to happen again. So let me know your thoughts on this down in the comment section, and we'll see how it goes. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.